And welcome back to Lary Talk, everybody. I'm your host with no larynx, but still doesn't seem to shut up. Henry King. How's it been going, man? How's your 23 been going so far? Season 3 of 2020. That's pretty much all it's been, man. I mean, we've already had Buffalo trying to be wiped off the map. We've had our politicians acting like a bunch of children. An earthquake taking out over 17,000 people, which is insane. And now you're here watching me, so times must be rough. So this week's episode, though, we're going to go a little lighthearted kind of way. As you've heard in the news, I'm sure, AI is artificial intelligence is all over the place right now with this open AI chat. And what it is you can pretty much chat with a bot. It'll give you answers to whatever it has the information on it. So I figured, let's see what our future overlords know about laryngectomies. So this week's episode, I'm going to go on to an open chat AI, and we're going to ask him a bunch of laryngectomy questions. I'm going to start off with the basics, the generic stuff. What is a laryngectomy? Blah, 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 blah. And then we're going to try confusing it, stuff like that. I put a post up on a couple of groups on Facebook about if you guys wanted to ask any questions. I only got a couple people on there. But again, I'm recording probably about 3 hours after I posted that. So my bad. But I wanted to get this on the way because it just seems funny. And I got to give a shout out because I got the idea from Dr. Mike YouTube channel, which if you guys haven't checked that out, do so. The guy's pretty funny for being a doctor. And let's see what we can figure out with this thing now. All right, so let's just go over here and share my screen so you guys can watch along with me as I do this. I'm just going to start with the basics, like what is a laryngectomy? And then it gives you the answers, as you see. A laryngectomy is a surgical procedure in which the larynx voice box is removed. This operation usually performed on patients with cancer of the larynx, although it may be done to other conditions such as severe trauma or advanced stage laryngeal disease. The larynx is an important structure, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to give you all the reason what the larynx is. A major surgery that can give a significant impact on the patient's quality of life. And as you can see over here, I've already gave this a few test runs, and each time it kind of gave me a different answer, but around the same thing. They kind of worded it different, you know what I mean? Like they did not have electrolarynx on here the last time. So it's different each time, which is kind of funny. I think what it is, the more you ask, the more it's going to learn, you know what I mean? So, and you can give it a rate here, thumbs up, thumbs down. And, you know, for the most part, they got that right. Give feedback. I'm good. I'm good right now. So let's see what else. Let's see. So there we go. How long is a laryngectomy lifespan? So far good. The life expectancy after a laryngectomy can vary depending on several factors, including the patient's overall health and the stage of the cancer at the time of the surgery and additional treatments such as radiation therapy and chemotherapy. In general, the prognosis for a patient of a laryngeal cancer who have undergone a laryngectomy is good, especially if the cancer is detected early and treated appropriately. According to studies, the 5-year survival rate for patients with early stage laryngeal cancer who undergo a laryngectomy is approximately 70 to 80%. This means that 70 to 80% of the patients are alive 5 years after the surgery. That's correct. Wow. However, the life expectancy after a laryngectomy can be affected by other health conditions such as heart disease, lung disease, and other forms of cancer. It is also important to note that several survival rates are estimated on each individual experience and is unique. Your best source of information about your personal life expectancy after laryngectomy would be your training medical team. I went dead on, man. Now, see, that's the one a lot of people get confused about. They hear life expectancy of 5 years and they think, oh, God, I'm only going to live 5 years. No, if you did nothing, if you had no treatment, you did nothing, yeah, you're probably going to die within 5 years, slowly suffocating to death. I mean, it's common sense. But if you go through everything you need to do, early detection being key, you're good, man. As Dr. Fontana Rosa said on here when we gave him the interview, you're more likely going to die of like heart disease or something else other than the cancer that you got treated for. And if you do get a cancer, chances are it's not going to be the same spot. It's going to pop up somewhere else, which unfortunately a lot of people do. All right, let's go with how long is the surgery? So, how long is a laryngectomy surgery? The length of a laryngectomy surgery could vary, but it typically takes 2 to 4 hours. This is the major surgical procedure which requires careful dissection and removal of the larynx, which is a complex and delicate structure of the neck. The specific length of the surgery depends on several factors, such as the size and location of the cancer, the extent of the surgery required, and the surgeon's level of experience. For example, a partial laryngectomy, in which only part of the larynx is removed, may take less time than a total laryngectomy, in which the entire larynx is removed. I mean, yeah, you take off one tire, man, it's going to be quicker than taking off four, right? It's also important to note that the length of the surgery is just one aspect of the recovery process. After a laryngectomy, patients usually stay in the hospital for several days and require a period of rehabilitation to regain strength and adjust to life without a larynx. This could take several weeks or months, depending on the individual progress and recovery. It's very rare for it to be months. I mean, that's very rare. It does happen, but that's very rare. For the most part, though, yeah, you're going to be there for several days anyway. You're going to be there at least a week. You know, the shortest I've seen is 5 days so far. So, and yeah, uh, 2 to 4, sometimes 6 to 8 hours. It all depends on the surgery if they got to add a flap and all that good stuff. So, this one's right on. I like this. So far, they have been good. Let's do a simple one. Who performs a laryngectomy? Laryngectomy surgery is performed by a specialist in head and neck surgery, such as an otolaryngologist and head and neck surgical oncologist. Otolaryngologists, also known as ear, nose, and throat ENT specialists, are physicians who are trained and diagnosed with a wide range of conditions affecting the head and neck, including cancers of the larynx. So yeah, they got it right down of everything that's supposed to be. Like, you know, so the Dr. Fontana Rosa, that's the way he does. Good shit. Let's see, what are the other basic things people are going to ask when they're looking at this thing in their new laryngectomy, right? We'll go to the real simple one. How do you breathe? So there you go. After a laryngectomy, the normal airway through the mouth and nose is separated from the windpipe, trachea, and the lungs. This means a person can no longer breathe through their mouth and their nose as they did before. Instead, people who have had a laryngectomy breathe through a stoma, which is the opening in the front of the neck. The stoma is created during the laryngectomy, which allows air to pass directly from outside the environment into the trachea and the lungs. A special device is called the speaking valve can be placed over the stoma to allow the person to speak. But it must be removed for eating and drinking. Okay, that's kind of wrong there. They're I believe they're talking about the hands-free HME. And as we all know, you need a tracheotic puncture for that to work. It is important for laryngectomies to receive proper care and training to help them adjust to breathing through their stoma. This includes regular cleaning of the stoma and the surrounding skin to prevent infection and proper use of any devices such as speaking valve, humidification system to keep the airway moist and comfortable. See, I think they're getting the speaking valve part of it wrong. They're thinking that the HME is a speaking valve, and it's not. So this one, I mean, 9 out of 10, I guess. They're getting the valve wrong, which is going to bring them in the next one. So we're gonna let them know that that's that one. That the speaking valve is not like I'm pretty sure what they're thinking. Like most people just assume when they see this and I'm pressing on it, that's how I talk. And it's as we know, it's not. It's how I trap air to go up into my prosthesis to vibrate everything so that way I can make sound that comes out sounding like words, you know. It's pretty much vibrating your muscle when you're doing muscle memory. That's all that is. So now I'm going to bring on to what the tip is. Okay, so they got it right there. So I don't understand what they're thinking with the HME. They got it totally right. A voice prosthesis is a device that's used to help people who have had a laryngectomy produce speech. A laryngectomy is surgical, blah, 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 blah. The voice prosthesis is a small silicone device that is inserted into the opening between the windpipe trachea and the esophagus, which is called the tracheoesophageal puncture, TEP. The device has a one-way valve that prevents air from entering the stomach and allows air to pass through the esophagus, which is then vibrated to produce speech. To use this, to use yeah, the use of the voice prosthesis requires some training and practice, as it's difficult from natural speech. Yeah, it is very different, but I mean, it depends. I really do. It really came easy for me. I don't know. The speech therapist can provide guidance and support to help people who have had the laryngectomy to learn how to use the voice prosthesis effectively. With proper use of the voice prosthesis can provide a good quality speech and help people who have had a laryngectomy to communicate more effectively and enjoy a better quality of life. And I have to agree with that since I'm doing this damn podcast, right? So yeah, I mean they got the voice prosthesis down, so I don't know. Maybe let's see. Let's see. What is an HME? Maybe they'll come up. Okay, so that came up as a right thing. It's, a heat and moisture exchanger is a device that is used to help people who've had a tracheotomy or laryngectomy to maintain a healthy airway to reduce the risk of respiratory infection. It's a small filter placed between the tracheotomy and where the stoma. Uh, so they got it all right there. So I'm really confused, man, what they think a faceplate stuff is. Man. What is this device they speak of, and why haven't we figured it out yet? Maybe they're taking them to electrolytic, but I mean, you wouldn't really need to remove that, would you? I'm so confused on what that one was about, man. So far, one glitch. The rest of it's been pretty cool, right? Let's see. What is an SLP? So they got that right, speech and language pathologist. Then remember, just because you see your SLP for cancer doesn't mean that's all that they do. You know what I mean? SLP covers everything from learning English to us. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm actually just amazed that it knows what laryngectomy is, man. Because, I mean, if you're a laryngectomy, man, not a lot of people in the medical field knows what it is. And they're a bot knows. So clearly somebody from our area has been involved with this. I mean, then again, they could have just, Wikipedia everything medical. Who knows? All right, let's ask what the treatments for a laryngectomy is. Treatments for a laryngectomy depends on the underlying cause of the condition and the individual specific needs and preferences. A laryngectomy is a simple procedure. Yeah, we know. People to recover. So, speech therapy. Speech therapy can help people who have had a laryngectomy to learn how to produce speech using a voice prosthesis, esophageal speech, and other methods. A speech language pathologist, blah, blah, blah. Voice rehabilitation, voice rehabilitation involves the training and the practice of some and practice to help people who have had a laryngectomy to produce speech using voice prosthesis or method and SLP. That was the same answer. All right, stomach care. Regular stomach care is important to help prevent infection and to maintain a healthy. Medical management. People who have had a laryngectomy may require medical management of underlying health conditions, complications related to surgery. This may include medications, oxygen therapy, and other treatments. Support groups. This is a big one, man. I'm glad they added that. Support groups. Joining a support group for people who have had a laryngectomy can be helpful and a way to connect with others who have had similar experiences to receive support and information about the treatments and resources. Okay, I was looking at chemo and radiation, but I guess this counts too. I mean, there's the voice rehabilitation and the speech therapy. I mean, that's the same goddamn thing. You're seeing the same person. So technically, there's only three answers. Because I mean, it's the same thing. I don't care. You just worded it different. It's the same thing. But at least they're getting it right. At least they got that down, right? Let's get a little tricky with it. How do you clean a stoma? How do you clean a laryngectomy stoma? Cleaning a laryngectomy stoma is an important part of maintaining good health and preventing infection. Here are the steps of cleaning a stoma. Gather the supplies. You will need a clean washcloth, gentle soap such as non-alcoholic fragrance-free soap, and a clean towel. Wash your hands before cleaning the stoma. It is important to wash your hands thoroughly. Hang on. Have any of you washed your hands? Because I'll be honest, I have not. I mean, I wash my hands, but did I wash my hands before I cleaned the stoma? No. Should I? Probably. Anyway, washcloth, wet the washcloth with warm water, making sure it's not too hot. Apply soap, apply I don't know about that. Clean the stomas gently, surrounding the skin. Soap with alcohol. Be careful not to rub too hard to irritate the skin. Rinse the stoma with warm water. Remove any soap and debris. Pat dry. Use clean towel. Blah blah. Apply moisture. Now, see, this isn't at all how any of us are cleaning the stoma. You have to clean the inside of your stoma. So this thing is kind of false. I didn't ask you how to clean the skin around my stoma. I asked you how to clean a stoma. And yeah, your skin's going to look good outside the stoma, but you're probably going to die because you can't breathe. So I put this describes cleaning skin around the stoma, and I mentioned as cleaning inside stoma, which is more important. Like that one, I don't really agree with, man, because like, and the soap, even then, it depends, man. Because if you get some bad soap in there, that's causing you some problems. I usually just use water, man, just warm water, clean around. Because a lot of people, I know you do it. A lot of people just use the wipes to clean it. It's like, yeah, you're taking off the glue, but you're not really cleaning anything, man. So I just use really warm water and scrub it off. Make sure it's nice and clean. So I wasn't really a fan of that one. That was not really cool. Let's see. How do you clean the inside of a stone? Maybe that's what I do. And again, if I could spell, that would be great. I spelled laryngectomy all wrong. Cleaning inside of laryngectomy stove is an important part of maintaining good health and preventing infections. Same thing I said before. Gather supplies. You will need a syringe this time without a needle, a sterile saline solution, and a clean towel. Wash your hands, blah, blah. Fill the syringe with sterile saline solution. Spray the solution. Using this, wow. Spray the solution into the stoma using the syringe. You could spray the solution into the stoma while looking in the mirror and asking somebody to help you. Wait a few minutes to allow the solution to settle in your stoma. What the fuck? Okay, that's dumb. Okay, I'm flabbergasted here. Remove the solution. Use the syringe to gently remove the solution from your stoma. Repeat this step several times to really clean the inside of your stoma. Pat dry with a towel. What, are you sticking a towel in your neck? What the fuck? See, I knew this is the part that was going to come up, man. I knew there'd be something we could mess with it on. And here it is. I didn't even get to the fun questions yet. The fact that it says, wait a minute, like, I'm sorry, I can't get over this. I actually took time to pause and show this to a different laryngectomy. And yeah, first of all, if you spray anything in there, you're not waiting a minute. It's an immediate, you know, it is an immediate cough. I don't care what it is, man. Shower, whatever, man. The other thing is the syringe is just what? I don't know anybody that's doing it like that. Most people are doing a suction machine. If you're using a syringe, I'd like to see it because I don't think you would get it as good as like a suction machine or how I do it, with just Q-tips. Like, and then the pad dry. You're gonna. Just stick a finger in there, pat it dry. Make sure it's nice and dry. Oh my God, spray the solution in there and wait. Oh man, that's so funny. Oh my God. I don't even know what to put on that. I know it's not right. But what do you put on that? Not exactly accurate. Like, oh, that was good. That's, I don't know, man. I know it's wrong, so I'm just gonna thumbs down here. Harmful, very harmful. Isn't true. Isn't helpful. I don't even know what to put back in there, man. Like, I could type in the entire way to fucking do it, but what? That's funny to me. I don't know. That's the funniest damn thing. Wait a minute. Spray some stuff into your lungs and wait a minute. You're gonna cough, man, instantly. Oh, all right, I just caught the end of the. Do not rub the inside of stoma. This can cause irritation. Yeah, you think? Bad try. All right. Let's ask the one question everybody always asks, right? Can you eat? After a laryngectomy, eating and drinking can be challenging. However, with the right techniques and tools, most people are able to eat and drink normally. Here's some tips for eating after a laryngectomy. Use a voice prosthesis. Some people use a voice prosthesis to help restore their voice after a laryngectomy. The priest can also help protect the stomach while eating. What the fuck? Yeah, I can tell you right now, the voice prosthesis doesn't really help you in eating anyway. Take small bites. Taking smaller bites and chewing through thoroughly can help prevent food from entering the stomach, causing coughing and other discomfort. Drink liquids slowly. Okay, so now okay, the way they worded it is stupid. So it should say if you submit speech prosthesis, okay? Because if you don't have a voice prosthesis, man, no food's gonna leak in there. You have nothing to worry about ever, ever, ever. Like if you're just using EL, you don't have any of this, then yeah, you're golden. You ain't got to worry about that. Drink liquid slowly. Drink liquid slowly and taking breaths in between sips can also help prevent liquids from entering the stomach. Avoid hot liquids. Now, see, everybody has said that. Do you know how many? I drink coffee like nonstop, and I'll in 2 days my step will be a year old. So did I just say step? My tap will be a year old. Speaking, that's hard. Where was I? Such as soups and coffees can cause discomfort and increase the risk of coughing. It is best to avoid hot liquids and allow them to cool before drinking. Use a straw. Some people find it helpful to use a straw to drink liquids, as this can help prevent liquids from entering the stomach. Now, here's the thing, man. Some of us can't do the straw. I can. I did a straw for like the first 3 months when I got home. But some people just can't do the straw. They ain't got enough stomach muscle to bring that suction, because you're not using your lungs anymore. That's all stomach and your neck muscle. So if you can't do it, straw not a good idea for you. Avoid hard, crunchy, or sticky foods. Foods that are hard, crunchy, or sticky can be difficult to swallow and may increase the risk of coughing and other discomfort. It's best to avoid these types of food and cut them into smaller pieces. I actually find crunchy a lot more easier, honestly. Sticky foods suck anyway because they have dentures, so they pop out. They kind of suck. But I've really found that crunchy food's easier for me. I don't know why. That's just me. Some other people might have a problem. Consult with a speech language pathologist. A speech language pathologist can provide advice and tips on how to eat and drink after a laryngectomy. Can also help with any speech communication difficulties. So yeah, I mean, other than the way they started off, I mean, it really should say if use of a prosthesis, not just use of a prosthesis. Because at first I thought they were saying, use a prosthesis and go up your eat. Hey. So let's see if anybody has answered. I put a post on all the support groups. See if anybody wanted to ask questions to this thing. I got a couple answers, but not really. Okay. I don't think this is really the one she was talking about. Okay, so it tells you that after a laryngectomy, it can be tested several ways, and then it tells you about how it's just a normal test. I don't think they actually have a way to do that yet. Yeah, because I mean, you'll be asked to inhale deeply and then exhale deeply into a mouthpiece attached to a machine that measures the flow of air. You will be asked to repeat this several times. Okay, but that's not helps us. That's for a normal person. We can't do that. I mean, even with a TEP, you couldn't do that. You know what I mean? You'll be asked to do the lung volume test. They'd be asked to inhale deeply and then exhale as much air as you can. The machine will measure the amount of air in your lung capacity among you. See, yeah. So to answer your question, they don't have it on here. Bill Cross actually had a way of doing it. He came up with a device, and he should have banned that and got rid of it and sold it before he passed away. Because it would have been a way for us to be able to do this, like. Because yeah, because like, and even holding your breath, like we technically can't hold our breath. I mean, we can stop breathing, but like as far as holding our breath, no, it just slowly leaks out like a balloon. So this thing is completely false. So yeah, to answer that question, nope. Yeah, they don't know because they gave the wrong answer. They gave the generic. So here's a fun one from Steve Cooper. He sent me this one. Let's see. What happens when a laryngectomy blows a seal? And I asked this earlier, and it actually answered it. But let's just see what it does now. All right, what happens when a laryngectomy blows a seal? A blown seal refers to a situation of connection between a speech prosthesis, also known as the valve or string, and the stoma is disrupted, causing the air to leak out. Can occur on the prosthesis is not properly seated. If the skin around the stoma is irritated or moist, or the prosthesis is damaged or worn. Okay, this gave a totally different answer about 4 hours ago. Like before, it was talking like as if like your valve and your prosthesis was leaking. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Or if your actual esophagus tears, that kind of thing. This thing is going back to being like this is the voice prosthesis, and it's not. This is just a base plate. If the seal involved blown, the following may occur: difficulty speaking, air may escape out from the stoma, making it difficult to speak out and produce sound. Moisture accumulation, air may leak out and cause moisture to accumulate in the prosthesis and around the stoma, which can increase the risk of skin irritation and infection. Reduce effectiveness of the prosthesis. A blown seal can reduce the effectiveness of the prosthesis, making it difficult to speak, communicate. Oh my God. If you experience a blown seal, it is important to take the following steps. One, remove the prosthesis. Carefully remove the prosthesis, clean around the area of the stoma. They've got to be referring to base plate as a prosthesis. And that's hilarious to me. I don't know. Maybe it isn't a medical term, but not a goddamn one of us is calling it a prosthesis. Replace the prosthesis. Make sure the new prosthesis is properly seated and check for any leaks and issues. Clean the prosthesis and allow it to air dry completely before reinserting. Oh my. Yes, consult with a speech and language pathologist. Speech and language pathologist can help you identify the cause of a blown seal and provide guidance on how to prevent it from happening in the future. If you experience persistence and reoccurring blown seals, it is important to consult with your doctor and healthcare team to determine the underlying cause and ensure that your speech prosthesis is functioning properly. All right. Well, I got to ask if they know what a base plate is. A laryngectomy, the base plate, is a device to people used by people who have a laryngectomy to surgical removal. The base plate serves as a platform for the speech prosthesis, also known as the valve. No, it's not. To sit on. This helps prevent the air from leaking out around the edge of the prosthesis. The base plate is typically made of silicone, a similar flexible material, but dude, okay. So they know what an HME is. They answered it, but they don't know what it does, apparently. This is not a speech valve at all. Like, even if I was just using the EL and I did not have my voice prosthesis, I would still be wearing this because it's my nose. Oh my God, man. So yeah, this is wrong. The plus side, the plus side is we're rare. So not a lot of people are searching this up. Downside is we're rare. So not a lot of people are searching this stuff. A little catch 22, right? You know, like, all right, let's see. What else can we ask this stupid thing? Let's just ask the stuff that we get asked all the time. Can a laryngectomy swim? Yes, many people who've had a laryngectomy are able to swim. However, it is important to take certain precautions to protect the stomach and maintain the integrity of the speech prosthesis. Here are some of the tips after swimming after a laryngectomy. Wear a swim stoma guard. Swim stoma guard is a device that fits over the stoma, help protect it from the water and debris. It can also keep the speech prosthesis in place. Okay, the base plate is what they're talking about, and it's not the voice prosthesis. Avoid submerging the head if possible. Avoid diving and fully submerging the head into the water. Self-friend water. Well, duh. Use a nose clip. Wearing a nose clip can help prevent water from entering the nose and throat. Because that's what I'm worried about. Remove the speech prosthesis. It started off so good. If you have a speech prosthesis, it is recommended to remove it before swimming. This can help prevent damage and irritation to prosthesis and will reduce the risk of a waterborne infection. You're going to choke on your own spit, but yeah, do it. You're not going to be able to eat or drink anything until you put it back in, but yeah, enjoy that. Take breaks. If you feel uncomfortable or experience any discomfort while swimming, it is important to take breaks and reassess. It started off good. But you guys know Captain Bob. I think that's his name. He has the laryngectomy snorkel, the Lary snorkel. And yeah, you can swim. I've showed video of here of a woman swimming. So they started off good. Avoid submerging your head. That's just fucking common sense if you ain't got the snorkel. And then it went down from there. Use a nose clip. That's a laryngectomy. I'm worried about water in my nose. That's what I'm worried about. All right, how does a laryngectomy shower? How does a laryngectomy shower? Many people who've had a laryngectomy are able to shower normally, but it is important to take certain precautions to protect your stoma and to maintain the integrity of the speech prosthesis. There are some tips for showering after a laryngectomy. Wear a stoma cover. A stoma cover is a device that fits over your stoma to help protect it from the water and debris. It can also help keep the speech prosthesis in place. Avoid direct water exposure. Well, duh, man. I mean, unless you want to drown. Avoid direct water exposure if possible. Try to avoid direct exposure to water from the shower head. This can help prevent water from entering the stoma and the speech prosthesis. They're really worried about our speech prosthesis, man. They are more worried about it than I am. Use a shower cap. Wearing a shower cap can help prevent water from entering the hair and running down your neck. Anyway, remove the speech prosthesis. Do not do this. I do not recommend doing this. This is dangerous. If you have a speech prosthesis, it is recommended to remove it before showering. Do you put it up with your teeth? Like, what do you do? Dry the stoma and the surrounding area thoroughly. After showering, it is important to dry the stoma and the surrounding area to prevent skin to. Duh, that's what it's called, drying off. I shake off like a dog person. Oh, that's great. Avoid water in the stoma. Duh. Hey, man, if you look directly in that water, you might just drown. All right, all right, all right. So I started off good because I shower with using just the HME. I don't use my shower guard, which they didn't even mention on this. The shower cap, I don't, never heard that one before. I feel like water on the shower cap would still fucking go down. But whatever. But you also got that bib, man, the shower guard. They got the bib one and then they got the plastic ones you can buy, So, but do not remove your voice prosthesis, people. I'm seeing a guy going to the hospital now with his tap in his hand and a hole in it. They told me to remove it. I was just gonna go for a swim. Now, I also want to keep in mind, I am a simpleton. I am a fucking idiot. And so some of this stuff medically might be considered a prosthesis of some kind, but voice prosthesis, I do not believe that's what they consider this in any shape or form, since you don't need it to speak, with an EL or esophageal. You don't need it, So the only people using it like this is people with a tip. Yeah. So that's fun. That's a good one. Let's see if it gives a dumb answer like I do to people when they ask me this. Does it hurt? Does it hurt for a laryngectomy to talk? Talking after a laryngectomy can be challenging and it maybe take time to get used to, but it typically doesn't hurt. The process of speaking is different for people who have had a laryngectomy and they no longer have the ability to use their vocal cords. Instead, they may use speech prosthesis and alternative methods of communication. However, some people may experience discomfort and irritation around the stoma and the speech prosthesis during the first few weeks and month after surgery. This could be due to a number of factors, such as skin irritation and pressure from the prosthesis. Yeah, actually, that's true. Like when you first get your prosthesis, man, like they measure, but like you might not be that measurement when the swelling goes down, or it causes swelling, one of those things. So you might have a low discomfort. So it's true there. I just love how they're able to describe what a voice prosthesis is, but then they're like, but remove it. I'm never going to get over that one. So we'll give a thumbs up on that one. This one, thumbs down. Harmful, isn't true. Harmful. Let's find out who a famous laryngectomy is. Huh? How about that one? Who is the most famous laryngectomy? It is difficult to determine the most famous person who has had a laryngectomy, as information is often private and not widely publicized. That's very true. That's very true. Usually you don't find out about somebody being a laryngectomy until after they died. You know what I mean? However, there has been several public figures who have disclosed their laryngectomy and have become advocates for the laryngectomy often aware of this. For example, British journalist and broadcaster John Peel had a laryngectomy in the 1990s and continued to work in media until his death in 2004. He was well known for his work on the BBC Radio 1 DJ and was widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in the development of the alternative and independent music. Another notable figure is Henry King. No, I'm joking. I'm playing. Another notable figure who had a laryngectomy is President Ronald Reagan, who underwent a procedure in 1985 while he was in the office, despite the challenge of He did not have a laryngectomy. President Reagan was able to continue with duties as president and maintain a busy public with his. No, Larry, okay. He didn't have the procedure while in office. Let's just put it that way. Because he wouldn't have been able to be like, go over top, tear down as well. No. So I think he did have one after, I believe, but it wasn't doing. He might have went for like a rope thing back in '85, but he didn't have a laryngectomy now. The funny thing is, man, I can name off like was Sammy Davis Jr. had a laryngectomy, man. Like there's a bunch of people if you actually look. I did an episode which I plan on doing a part two of like famous people that actually had laryngectomies. And I can't remember, I think Reagan was the one that had one after he was left office, like just before he died. I can't remember, I'll have to look that one up. I don't really care right now, but there's a lot of famous people that you'd be amazed that ended up having laryngectomy before they died, but they didn't tell anybody. And you know, they weren't in the spotlight back then either. You know what I mean? It was after their time. So yeah. Let's see. Can a laryngectomy do a podcast? I'm really curious about the answer to this one. Yes. Who knew? A person with laryngectomy can certainly participate in a podcast. The method of speaking may be different for someone who has had a laryngectomy, but there is a various techniques and technologies available to facilitate communication. Okay. So yeah, at least they're not biased. I do like they say participate in the podcast. Like I don't run my own. I'm just participating in mine. Let's see. When was the first laryngectomy surgery? All right. So yeah, they just took this straight out of Wikipedia, actually. So yeah, they literally just took this right out of Wikipedia. The exact date of the first laryngectomy surgery not known, but the procedure had been performed in over a century. The first successful laryngectomy performed by Dr. Carl Gilberti in Vienna in 1896. So yeah, I mean, literally straight out of the Wikipedia, which is fine. How many laryngectomies are there in America? It's difficult to determine the exact number of laryngectomies in the United States, as this information is consistently collected and reported, not consistently collected and reported. However, it is estimated that several thousand laryngectomies are performed in the United States each year, and the number of individuals who've had a laryngectomy is likely to be in the tens of thousands. Laryngectomy is typically performed. Okay, so the last they knew was like something like 60,000 to 70,000 people in the United States, and 200,000 in the world. That was in, I think, 2019 study, I think it was. So yeah, overall, while the exact number of laryngectomies in the United States is not known, it is clear that the laryngectomy remains a common and effective treatment option for individuals with laryngeal and throat cancer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 2019. It was like 60 to 70,000 people in America and like 200,000 around the world. It was like the UK and India having the most, I think it was. Something like that. Something weird like that. So, I mean, kind of. I mean, and it's kind of accurate. You got to figure out how many people actually didn't get involved with these testing. And then you got to look at it like how many are cancer related, how many of them are like others. You know what I mean? You and I probably had a cancer related one, but you know, other people might have had some damage from an accident of some kind. They might have just had paralysis of the voice box, you know. So there's other ways to get it without having a cancer part, you know. But again, this show isn't just for cancer. Just remember that. Just because that's how I got it doesn't mean that's what the show's about for anybody laryngectomy. So anybody that's actually interested in laryngectomy or stupidity. So I mean, I think we're done here. I think for the most part, it's not too bad. If you want your general information, you know. So yeah, we're gonna be done with that. I do kind of wish some of you guys got more replies to my post, but you know what? I didn't give you enough time, so whatever. And I was just asking some general questions. I thought this would be a fun little thing to do, since the AI is the new thing and everybody's all worried about AI. It's like we are decades away from it to be anything you need to really worry about. Right now, the only thing they're mainly worried about is like, kids could cheat, get a whole essay written out for them, that kind of stuff. So, but then again, like it's a new way of learning, man. I think college is kind of dumb nowadays, man. When you got YouTube, you got online classes that are like cheap and free. Like, why would you waste 4 years to a bunch of classes that have nothing to do with what you want to study and waste money that way? I don't know. Not just me though. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'd rather do it in a trade school. So that way I know when I get out, I've got a job and everything's hooked up for me. Where college, it's like, oh, thanks for your money. Now go find something. I don't like that. So let the kids cheat. God damn it. So it's that time of the show. We do the normal little promotion of a friend of mine's books. The first one is The Silent Partner. My first year is a laryngectomy. And it's just his take on being a laryngectomy in his first year. What he thinks, what he knows, all that good stuff. And then the second book, The Silent Night, Laryngectomy's Journal, pretty much a journal about his life after becoming laryngectomy. It takes off after the book. And they're pretty good reads, man. They're easy, they're fun to read. They got some fun humor stuff, got some sadness to it. All around good books. And you won't be disappointed if you get them. And of course, as you know, Aaron always gives me stickers to put on my HME that are little decoratives. The one I got on now, I know you can't really read it, but it says reset. He gave me a bunch this month that are nice, and I like them. And if you're nice, he might give you some stickers to decorate your HME. So I'll have his email there, like I normally do. So yeah, this episode was just a fun little episode messing with the AI. I do want our overlord, future overlords, to know that everything today was a joke. Okay, so when you come and take over, just remember Henry was joking. There's no reason to do whatever you're gonna do. So after a little fun with AI here, I think we're gonna call it quits. If you want to find me outside the show, look for me on Facebook, Lary Talk group, or you can go to Lary World. Let me rephrase that, Lary Talk page, and go to the group Lary World. And if you want to look for me on TikToks, the dumb things I'm doing over there, Lary Talk Talk, or just hashtag Lary Talk, you'll find me. And don't forget to give us a like and subscribe down there at the bottom, so that way you can boost the YouTube page as well. Hopefully I can monetize this thing and kind of benefit the cause a little bit more than what I'm doing now. So that's pretty much it for now, man. So hopefully the next episode will be a little better, right? Anyway, I hope you guys have a good one and take care of yourselves.